Then everyone is good. Thank you. All right, so, welcome to Cosplay Chronicles, episode 11, where it is cosplay themed. Who has not had a turn of giving a recap to last time yet? I see Mercedes' eyebrows wiggle, so congratulations, you have volunteered yourself.
This feels like who didn't do their homework. Waiting for teacher to call, and we're all just like quietly like, don't call on me, don't call.
But also, I don't take notes. So you should probably not ask me. Here goes. Gonna get a D on this assignment.
Hey, a D still passes.
Oh, does it? Okay, let's see. We did a lot of planning. We were recovering from the whole ordeal. Grandma made sandwiches. There was a sandwich stacking contest sort of thing going on. We were putting as much meat as we could as possible in that sandwich.
That's the thing you remember.
Yeah.
Yes! Dude, that's
part of that too.
Yes. Yes. And Vea and Rain had a heartfelt conversation in the meantime while the dumb boys were doing dumb things.
Having giant meat sandwiches. Every meat sandwich.
Also, Grandmama has given Tolan a concern. She's got this backstory that he just realized he does not know his grandmother. That's amazing.
Strange how a little communication could go a long way.
I know. Tolan's terrible at communication. Unless it's dumb ideas, like becoming a security guard for a convention. He did it. He's gonna be on security. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And everyone has like their secret roles, and we got a big plan for a big dress. Maybe a quick change with it, so that way, you know, Vea is all like protected. And let's see, Rain's gonna be, so Vea's the contestant. Rain's gonna be in green room?
Green room.
Yeah, and what was Draxel doing?
Am I handler?
Handler,
yes. Draxel's Vea's handler, that's right. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic recap. Thank you.
It's beautiful, yes.
So much, Talon. All right.
Dean work right there.
I'd say C? C average?
Okay. I'll take it.
Sadie says that I should throw a dice at you for calling her, her face. Throw a die at Mercedes for me, because her face is a butt. There we go.
So like cross planes to get your dice to Mercedes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't want to lose this. Here, this D20 always fails me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Practicing the brush challenge thing. So, oh, there it is!
Practicing for next time when we will actually get to meet.
I actually have, you know how like you can get like car dice? You know, they just like that you hang on your rear view. I actually forever ago bought like D20 car dice.
Nice.
That's like a ball!
It's just this ball. It's all it is.
It's so cute.
But yeah, no, you could tell like it was in my car for quite some time because how it's faded in areas.
I love that they like took the time to do seams for all the sides, but it's a ball still.
As if it was going to be an actual D20.
Yeah.
Okay, so let us jump into it. Let's say it's it's the end of the week. You guys have 2 full weeks to work on your costume. It is going to be a Final Fantasy inspired costume with a quick change somewhere in there. So I will let you guys take it away on planning your division of labor, and then we can begin the crafting. And hopefully nothing awry happens. Oh no. All right. So I will leave it to you. What do you do?
Sorry, I'm eating a cracker.
Are we just going to start taking different parts of this?
I believe that was more or less the plan from last time, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I figured since Rain has like the gold needle and likes to sew, he could do like the detail work on it once Vea has like put the dress together.
Okay. So Vea will be doing the dress, Rain will be doing the detail work, Talon and Draxel, what will you two be doing?
Armor.
Armor.
The armory bits. I got that hammer. So I can make those armory bits.
Looking at it, there are like some like little trinkets and things that go like she got to wrap around her neck. That looks a bit thicker than most typical fabric, and there's a few parts that look to be crafted leather. So I'd like to start embossing and crafting leather, and it's like on her headdress. This is a wedding,
Yes.
a wedding gown, right? Okay, yeah, on her headdress. Looks like she has some feathers, so I would like to bleach and dye the feathers as well. Like start working on like the trinkets.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Start working on the trinkets. So,
I mean, and he'd be good at that because he's always got like bone trinkets.
Yeah, he pierced his eyebrows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to
that's-
update his picture.
Oh,
He's got
God.
eyebrows with that now.
oh yes, please,
Yep.
please, when you get a
That's
chance,
right,
send that
that's
my
right.
way. All right. So, Vea, a lot rides on this dress. But we're going to say that the four of you still need to get some materials for this. So you guys go out to the market and you find Make It Sew, a fantastic little sewing shop with all the types of fabric that you might need. And it's doesn't have them on bolts, but it has them on giant rolls that you have to like pull the whole roll down, and it's like it sits on your shoulder and you have to carry it off. So we will begin there. Does anyone want to join Vea? Are all of you traveling together to this place? We'll skip the travel montage and we'll just say that you guys are already there.
Is this the one in Karishkagal?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with.
Yep, I'll be joining.
Yeah, I would
We're doing this as a team. Team
More
shopping.
to figure out what to buy. There's so many different types of the same color of fabric.
And for your colorblind DM, this will be interesting. So, Rain, are you joining or are you staying behind?
That's a very good question. I think he would actually stay behind if he could.
Okay. I don't think anyone's, unless you guys want to roleplay that, I don't think anybody's going to pressure you into joining.
Okay.
No? Okay. So, we'll say Vea, Draxel, and Talon, you get to Make It So, and when you get there, there is a gnome. She's very, very just calm, very just quiet. She's got, dark curls, really tight to her head, and she looks up to all of you and goes, "Oh, hi! Welcome! How are all of you?"
We're in need of epic fabric.
Yeah.
We're on a quest.
Epic fabric on a quest? What are you making?
This, and he holds up a picture.
Oh goodness. So you're going to need a lot of like cream and eggshell type of fabrics, is that right? Any taffeta, or are we just looking for cotton? What's your budget?
Ooh.
Ooh, what is our budget?
What is our budget? We didn't discuss this.
Show us the goods and we'll determine our budget.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, are you going to be doing a mock-up, or are you just going to jump straight into the material?
Oh, we need a mock-up.
We'll do
Don't we have like
mock-up,
plenty
but
of mock-ups just trash
Yeah.
fabric already for that?
yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Oh, yeah.
you've got trash fabric already. That's not a nice thing to say to your fabric. I wouldn't say that, because that kind of puts the energy into the fabric, and then, oh, buddy, like you just have bad fabric right off the bat, and like they all know, oh, we're just trash fabric. We can't be anything special. And you
Yeah,
feel
but they're
like,
grateful we didn't just toss them.
that's totally fair. That's totally
Yeah.
fair.
They would have gotten, tossed by other people, but we held on to them knowing they would have a purpose eventually.
Okay, I guess when you put it like that,
Trash treasure fabric.
yeah.
So they are literally pieces of trash fabric because they were destined for the trash. It is a descriptor, not an insult.
Mood. She goes, "Oh, I like this idea a lot." So, let me show you where we've got plenty of our different types of fabrics. And she kind of leads you through this maze of different rolls of fabric and stretches and materials and quality. And she goes, all right, so up on the high rolls is going to be your more expensive, high tier fabrics. Those ones are going to be ones harder to tear, harder to, your silks, your satins, your velvety materials, and everything in between. Lower, you've got your standard cotton, lower thread counts and whatnot. So, what can I help with?
Are there signs available that are there for like the price per yard, things like that?
I'll say that for like the lower tier ones, they are 5 copper a yard, and then on the higher ones, like near the top, you're looking at 10 gold a yard.
Okay. Really quick, out of character. How much gold did we get last time? How much gold do we have? Because
I'm trying to go through my notes to find, because I don't have my starting gold written down.
I have 10. And I could definitely have sent some of that with y'all.
I have 1. So, I'm
Maybe I did write it down then, and I'm just used to having a lot more money.
I'm sorry, it's not that kind of campaign yet.
cool. I've got 20 gold and 2 silver.
20 gold and 2 silver.
Yeah.
I'm like watching the gnome as everyone is like, so, how much do we have? Not saying anything. just kind of like watching her reaction.
And she's just kind of like patiently like smiling. She's got kind of her hands, her fingers like laced together, just kind of a little bit on her stomach and just kind of waiting. She's very good at her customer service face.
When you're in the fashion district and you're like, oh god, this is the most perfect fabric I could have ever imagined for this costume.
Uh-huh.
But when you're talking to the seller, you're like, yeah, I guess this could work.
maybe, I don't know.
Like in your brain, it's neon. Like, yes, I found it.
Yeah.
But out loud, it's like.
See, and this is where Tolan is going to channel me and just keep his mouth shut because I'm terrible at that. And I have to have Sadie barter for me.
So is there, one that I can get you a sample of, or what? Would you like to kind of feel the material?
Yeah, if we could feel it, that would be cool. So, it's a wedding dress.
Oh, who's are you the lucky?
And she just like.
Well,
but it needs to still be light and flowy. I want to be able to walk really well, and I want to be able to, just like dance.
Of course.
And she just like winks at Tolan. Obviously.
Are you trying to hide that at all?
Oh no.
Well, she doesn't notice.
A very obvious, and I'm hoping that I'll still be able to dance well. Wait.
She goes, oh my goodness, well, are you looking for more of a polyester blend? Are you looking for more of a cotton? I feel like if you're going for a kind of something a little bit more showy, you could do like an outer silk, but with like a cotton underneath for a little bit more comfort.
I think medium weight, maybe more of a matte sheen.
Matte sheen, okay. And she starts climbing. She doesn't get a stool. She climbs up the rungs of the wheels that she would be able to turn these things down on, and she climbs up them with this quick scurry, and she pulls this one that's a little bit higher, closer to the top, but not Like this is in the silver category, and she goes, if you're kind of budget conscious but you're willing to spend just a little bit more, may I recommend this? And it's this very like pure white color. It's not even like a cream. It just has this natural kind of matte look to it, and if you flip it over, it looks consistent on both sides. It has a little bit of a stretch, but not too much. Clearly a two-way stretch. I'm learning so much from our podcast, you guys. And yeah, it has a little bit of durability to it, so it doesn't like easily stretch and like stay stretched, and it then has strength to it, so it doesn't tear easily either.
Bolin like picks it
looking
up.
at both of them, it's like, should it be pure white though? Because I really, really want to look like this picture.
Oh yes, okay. Well then, if it's not pure white, and like she then like crawls back up with the ream and like puts it back into place, and then goes to like a shelf around, just around the corner, and then brings down another roll, and it's like slight off-white. This might be probably more in your kind of avenue if that's what you're looking for. This is a little bit more expensive. Instead of, what was that? That was about 2 silver a yard. This one's about 4 silver a yard. So a little bit more expensive, probably. Again, I'm trying to be budget conscious, because if you want, like, I can offer you what I would recommend. If I were to make this, I'd probably, there's this one up there that has actual platinum in the weaving of the material, so that way as it catches the light, you have this silver shimmer upon you, and you just naturally just flaunt a reflection of dare I say, purity. That was gross. I feel gross saying that, but it was fun.
The thing is, I want to look great, and that's cool that it has platinum in it, but honestly, if I'm only gonna wear it for one day...
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, then here's the one that's 4 silver a yard. It's a slight off-white. I think this would probably... It looks kind of close to the picture of what you're showing me.
And then I'll just like...
Bolin takes it, holds it up, and like takes like a yard out and like waves it like, how's the drape? That's all he knows. How's the drape?
It's very free flowing. It doesn't have a lot of stiffness to it, so it drapes very well.
So can we just have a moment to discuss things?
Of course. I'll be over at the cutting station if you need me. Feel free to just holler if you need me at all, okay?
Bolin smiles and like does the heart symbol.
Oh, you're so cute. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then she like scurries away and starts working on a few things.
Like, gathering together, they're just like, I don't know what just happened, but it sure happened.
Bolin's like, what's going on?
I don't know. Have you ever gotten the feeling that someone will, I don't know, be a little bit more or a little less condescending if you say you're working on like a formal ball gown for a formal event that's so important, rather than just I'm gonna dress up in a costume. You know? And this is maybe a little sneaky, and she kind of gets like hushed. I was like, I thought she might give us a better deal if she thought it was like my big day.
I mean, we could still try and play that up.
It's just kind of like...
Out of character, I was going to say, joke's on you guys, they'll double the price.
Yeah, but Vea doesn't know that.
Right, and you should have come along, you gotta save us.
Like that. Sorry, I just like... My roommate / BFF is getting married, and we know this exact thing because we've.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
garbage. I know this exact thing. What I'm saying is opposite to what I have lived through.
Playing the character. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Tolan's probably not even been on, like, dates, so he's just like, yeah, this sounds like a great idea.
Well,
Yes,
don't give me
do it.
ideas, Mercedes.
Oh, no.
It's like it's cheaper to buy or to hire a photographer than a wedding photographer, even though you'll get the same quality of pictures.
Oh, totally.
So, yeah. Jazzy knows this, Bea doesn't. So,
Ah.
Sadie says, you gotta act disinterested.
This queen of negotiating at Fashion District.
Tolan has just learned from, like, traveling with his grandmother to just go blank-faced when it comes to haggling. Because he can't haggle.
Sadie says, it's not perfect, it's not quite what we are looking for, or you have a friend who wants to look at another store first. Howlcause says, or say you'll think about it and come back. So, this is all advice from your audience.
From the chat.
to help you guys as much as possible.
Help us not mess this up.
all the advice that my brain is screaming at me. And I'm just like, no, this isn't you, Jazzy.
OOC knowledge does not equal IC character knowledge.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So after a few minutes, she comes back around. So, what do you think? Is this gonna be the one? Or what are we thinking?
I think of everything here. This is the best one, but I'm not totally sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna think about it, but it's really, it's tempting, but I want to be sure, you know? Like, can you imagine getting up in front of everyone and looking down and just thinking, oh no, like, this isn't what I wanted?
Roll me a persuasion.
19.
19.
Ooh.
That's really good. And like as you're speaking, her eyes kind of get like misty, and she kind of goes, "I know exactly that concern." And she takes it from you. She just takes the whole roll from you, and she goes, "That's not what we're gonna do. No." And she like climbs up in a hurry and puts it back, and then she runs off for a minute. Like, she's gone.
And Faye's just like looking to Draxel and Tolan like, what did I do?
Is she okay?
I hope so.
Insight check. Can I insight check her?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, go for
see
it.
if she seems genuine?
Yeah.
17.
There was something that like really resonated with her. Like there's almost this PTSD, like look into the future or past or something of like, I don't want that. And you're not sure if it was something that she has experienced, is afraid of experiencing, but there's a natural fear of what Jazzy was explaining. And that's not what this poor young gnome would want to experience in any capacity. So there's an earnest in her willingness to turn around and like try and find something real quick.
And I was so careful to word that in a way that wasn't an outright lie.
Yeah, no,
Like,
great.
getting up in front of everyone implies that it's the wedding, but it's really just on stage.
So after a moment, she comes back and she goes, she has like this bundle of fabric. It's not on a roll. And she goes, this was something I was saving, and I think it'd be better fit in your hands. And she hands it to you, and it has this like perfect weight to it. Like it, for the large bundle that it is, it's very light. It's not very sheer. Like if you put light to it, like it'll pass through, but you can't see your hand underneath it. And there's no fraying on the edges of this material. And as you're looking at it, you can even see like little accents of white inside the cream of the material. I don't know what they're called exactly. And she's like, this would normally be 10 silver or 1 gold a yard, but technically it's been on clearance for quite some time because nobody's purchased it because someone put it in the back and it just hasn't been touched in forever. So now it just needs to get out of the store. So now it's 1 silver a yard.
This is me in real life going, buy it! I would want it for me now!
Who buy it? Buy it. There's an owl flying. Who buy it?
Tolan's already got his purse out. He's like, this sounds good. Let's do it.
Okay, I think that'll be a wonderful fabric to use for a wedding dress. And whoever the lucky man is, or lucky person, or lucky woman, or beyond and in between, whatever, I think they'll be very, very lucky to see you draped in this. To be honest, it'll look fantastic. How many yards do you think you need?
Just so kind of you. How many are there?
There are 12 yards.
We just... I mean, at this price, do we just buy it all?
It's a silver a yard. We've got silver. So
Tolan's ready. He's ready to purchase.
Okay.
He's got gold, the 2 silver, and well, the others aren't looking. He's gonna toss another gold in because she's so nice.
So she takes it over to the cutting station and she just puts the bundle down. She doesn't unroll it or anything along those lines. And she grabs a pair of scissors that look a little kind of archaic, just a little bit older than what you're used to, and she puts it on the table and she snaps her fingers, and in that moment the fabric unfolds itself and you can see like the perfect yard. Like, you know, they always kind of guesstimate and they pull it yard by yard, and like they sometimes give you a little bit more or a little bit less, but this is the perfect yard every single time. And
That's awesome.
they measure it out and the scissors start to float and they just glide across the material right at the perfect measurement. Okay, so is there anything else that I can get? Any accent pieces? Something that might be a little bit more sheer to kind of cover that, or anything along
Do we
those
need
lines?
lace, Bea?
oh yeah, we're gonna need like the
Thread.
veil,
Yeah.
the veil,
Thread's
and like the gold and thread. Thread.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely something that we can do. Let's see here. Do you want just kind of a matching thread? Just kind of a standard?
I think we'll need matching and then like embroidery thread.
Embroidery thread, okay.
Yeah.
Again. And so she starts like just running around the store really quickly, and again, she's not even like using a stool. She will just like jump onto a shelf, grab the thing without any second thought, grab it, and then like stuffs it in her arm and starts pulling things. And do you need needles? Do you need needles at all? Do you have a machine? What kind of machine? Do you have a foot? Do you have the proper foot for this? And then you probably need about 2 yards for the veil material. Okay, all right. Then,
Yeah.
and then she gathers up the rest of the materials pretty quick, pretty easy, and she looks at everything and goes, okay, so, remind me, how many yards did we get you for this? 4 yards? 6?
Of which?
Of the main material.
Main material. How much did
Dress-
we get, Bea? Did we get...
Did we just get it all?
All 12?
Is that what we decided?
Okay.
Yes.
I thought so.
So,
Yes.
she measures out the rest of the veil material and gets you everything ready to go. So with the 12, it'll be 14 silver and 5 copper pieces, please.
All right. I again, Tolan's just gonna flat out pay for this. So he gives, yes, 2 gold and his 2 silver pieces and says, keep the change, thank you very much.
Oh goodness. That's so much. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. What are your names? When's the wedding? When just so that way we, sometimes if we can get like a little postcard or something or a little invite, we can hang them up on our wall and just like, look, this was the material that made that dress or something along those lines.
Send a picture? We could send a picture, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
No, I gotta make the dress. And then hope they still want to ask me.
Do you whisper that to this small gnome who's just excited?
Mhm.
And her jaw just hits the floor. Like, just... Oh, okay, yeah. Well, whenever the happy day comes, drop us
I
a
will
line.
let you know, and as soon as this is done, I'll let you know, and you can tell me what you think. And if nothing else, I hope that it can just be a show-stopping piece.
I will pray to all the gods for you that it works in the most healthy manner that's possible.
Thank you so much. You are one of the nicest people I have ever met, and I will never forget this kindness.
Okay. So with all of that, you guys have a nice. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna go back to work. You have a lovely day. Goodbye. And she just like.
Bye.
Hang on. Tolan's like, wait.
Yeah.
Because something's finally clicked in his head.
Mm-hmm.
And he turns to Vea. And he does like a wink away from the gnome and gets on one knee and goes, "You don't have to impress me!"
Oh no. Well.
And she just ecstatically hugs him. And she's like, "But I'm still going to! Because I want to look so pretty for you!"
Everyone starts crying.
I'm just so excited, and this day is perfect. I'm so sorry I missed this. This is the best day of my life.
I'm so happy.
Performance check for both of you?
She's crying a little bit.
That was a 13.
Okay.
Crying a little bit.
Oh my god, I rolled a 19.
Oh my gosh.
That makes sense, because Tolan's not even been on a date, so...
Jaguar Quinn said at one point, like, I feel like Talon probably has been on one date, but didn't realize it was.
Uh-huh.
It was like junior high prom.
Yeah. So your performance is just like genuine enough that she's like, "Oh, it's okay. Well, congratulations. If I give you a discount, will you leave? For next time that you need, just in case if anything else comes up."
You have made my dreams come true with this fabric. And Talon's made my dreams come true with the proposal, and yes, we'll leave because I'm sure this is awkward.
I'm very happy for the both of you, and third wheel and whatnot. Like, I didn't think a fourth wheel could be a thing with this, but like, I'm happy for all of you. So, and she like slides a piece of paper over to you, and it's like 25% off your next purchase. And she's just like, bye! She just runs off. She just like climbs over another thing of clothes and like scurries over the edge so she just doesn't have to be in the same vicinity of you for a little bit.
Oh boy.
As we leave, Tolan's like, we just awkward our way into a discount.
Well done.
Rain, what are you doing in this little...
Nothing
little bit of
this
time?
exciting. Jeez. I was thinking about it, and like, I think for this upcoming convention, he would want to be like more fully covered, like he has been in some of his other cosplays. So I think he's working on something for that. And then probably like just chatting with Tolan's grandma. Does she have a name? Like, would we have a name, or would she just have us call her like Mima? Or
Tolan, what is Grandma's name? Grandma Tolan it is. All right, cool.
I was gonna say Margaret.
Margaret. I like Margaret.
Yeah.
So she sits down with you, and like as you're kind of like flipping through manga and different magazines and whatnot, and she goes, "What are you making? What's on the agenda today, dear Rain?"
Well, and he's like trying to do like a paper mache on a balloon thing, because he's making like a really big round dome mask. So he's probably up to his elbows in paste and newspapers.
Yeah, and like every now and again when like a drop hits the floor, like she just subtly like wipes it up, doesn't even like look away. She's like, yeah. And like
he'll grab a paper towel and like get it with his tape. Anyway, well, this is for that convention that's coming up. Like, we're all working together to help Vea, but I just thought I would throw this one together because I've been wanting to make it for a while, and it's basically scraps anyway, so yeah.
What's scraps about it?
Well, just like out of character, the one I picked for him to work on is Emil from Nier Automata, or just the Nier franchise. I don't know if you know that one.
Yeah.
But it's a giant dome mask that looks like a really creepy moon smiley shape, and then he's basically wearing tatters.
Yeah.
So Tolan's grandma,
just call me Maggie.
Maggie. I was gonna pick Maggie. That's a good one. Okay. Well, Maggie, this one is it's a character that basically like just wears really, really tattered stuff. So half of the fun is making it scraps and torn up and all that.
Well, it's very cool. I'm really excited to see where this goes. Are you going to be competing along with Vea, or is this a theme? I don't remember these two franchises ever crossing over.
No. I mean, I'm going to be helping out in the green room. I just always wanted to see what it's like from the staff perspective. And did we share with
Roll me a deception check on that.
Gotta lie to the grandmother.
I don't know what's safe to tell Mima. Let's see. I rolled an 18 and deception +1, 19.
She kind of nods and goes, "Okay, that sounds like a bunch of crap, but if that's what you want,
Can't lie to Grandma.
Wow. He just kind of like nervously laughs. Yeah. So how are you doing, Mima?
Classic deflection, my favorite. I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. There's a storm coming in a little bit later this week, and I can just feel it where my arm broke in the time that I fought a Hydra. So that was a fun one.
Speaking of deflecting, I've been meaning to ask you about all of those lovely stories you keep telling us about. Tolan really hasn't told us much about you, but what did you do before you became Grandma Maggie?
Well, before I was Grandma Maggie, I was an adventurer. It's one of those things that you think that you're going to save the world, but everyone has that kind of idea. Everyone's got a everyone has to have their calling. So I went out to the great wide world. I traveled across the sea. And then that's when I met my husband, and we married, and met a lich, and the lich didn't like things going the way that, so he passed away. And then I married Tolan's grandfather, excuse me. And then now we're here. There's just so many stories. You travel around for so long. You learn a little bit of this, you learn a little bit of that. Learn a little sleight of hand, and you learn how to take a blow, throw a few spells. I mean, it's really just kind of all in a day's work when you are traveling for 45 years.
45 years. Wow. Did you plan to be an adventurer, or did you just kind of fall into it?
Well, I thought I was going to be a writer for a very long time. I really enjoyed the Trek Stars, and I'm a big fan of those Nintendo games that everyone plays. The Nier. I really enjoyed Nier 1. It didn't get that much critical success, but So I thought it was really strange when you were saying that Vea was going to be doing a wedding dress from Final Fantasy 12. I didn't even know they made it past 10. Ugh.
Oh, yeah. I think they're working on 16 now.
Oh, goodness. I don't even know if I have the dexterity for that anymore. It's all just too fast-paced. I really enjoyed just the turns that you would take. It felt methodical.
But I guess, Mima, does it feel like a real fight to you when you take turns, though? You've had 45 years experience. Are you playing for the realism, or just because it's more fun that way?
I just feel like it's more strategic. I like the planning. Tactics, that's where it was at for me for a very long time. But then I played 6. Oh, man, with the opera and everything? Ooh. I once dated a woman who, she was an opera singer bard, and wow, did she have pipes. Yeah. Her main attack was just, screaming at people. It was intense.
I just want to read a side novel about Mima and all her adventures. Right?
The new tier of the Patreon.
Mima tier.
They're doing, young Mima adventuring party pictures.
Maggie Mima. I mean, that, wow. Yeah. I got nothing. We're kind of, I guess, at the start of our adventuring. Do you have any advice for us going into? I mean, we do mostly costumes, but you were there when we were traveling to that last convention and kind of got ambushed. Do you have any advice for stuff like that in the future?
Well, don't be afraid to ask for help. That's my very first thing. Remember to take care of yourself is sometimes more important than taking care of somebody else. And when it comes down to it, communication to everybody in the room is a very important step.
He kind of flinches. Did Tolan tell you anything about our upcoming trip?
Oh, Tolan's always got his heads in the clouds or in some game or some anime, and just, he's constantly peeking over the fence, watching the next door neighbor blacksmith do his work, and thinks that he's being stealthy and whatnot. So, no. What's going on? Do you want to talk about it, sweetie?
Well, I mean, if you have any advice on infiltrating and being stealthy in common areas, I guess that would be helpful.
Well, I think putting a moon on your head is going to be a little much. Are there going to be many moon-faced people?
No, probably not.
So maybe plan accordingly of what's trendy right now. What is it? Jujutsu? I think that's the one that I hear all the kids talking about when I'm at the market. Jujutsu is a big one. Isn't Naruto getting like a sequel of a sequel coming out soon?
Sequel to sequel.
Yeah, it's about Boruto's grandchild.
Oh man. How many times does that fox demon need to jump generations? That doesn't even make any sense anymore.
Naruto. The last of the Rutos.
So, I'd probably pay attention to trends if you're trying to make sure that, like, you stay out of sight. I get that probably with some of the stuff that you're avoiding, hiding your face is a big deal, so I get that. So masked characters in those franchises, or making more or less what you're making now, but of the character, maybe have a little fun with it, probably is a good idea. I like the idea of kind of pulling the focus on Vea to distract from you, but again, I think a moon might be a little much. But if you're going to be as a staffer, you know, maybe you do want to stand out, so that way Tolan or Draxel walk in kind of a stealthy manner, although I don't know if Tolan would be the one to really stealth in situation. But what do I know? I'm just rambling. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. It's helpful.
Everyone
Yeah.
knows all Tolan's secrets.
No.
He is-
Mima's rolled all her, like, perception checks. Wow. Well, yeah. I have a good one. Have you ever been in, I guess, a fight, like, some of the potential, how do I even words this?
Take your time.
Not
There's no rush for you.
Did you ever watch Code Geass, Mima?
Code Geass. Is that the one with they have the giant robots in that one, right?
Yeah, but mostly the Geass.
Okay.
Do you know what those are?
You're gonna have to refresh my memory. I've watched so many shows. I gotta keep up with Tolan and make sure that
right.
I'm keeping up with whatever's happening around me. And if I'm gonna,
I mean, it's it's a really good series, but there's this like MacGuffin thing where the main guy can just make people do whatever he says, and they have to do it, even though they don't necessarily wanna.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of heartbreaking, you know, because then there's all these people who are, you know, they're really good people, but they have to do bad things. And I was just wondering if you knew any counter spells for anything like that, or, you know, that would be a pretty rough situation to be in real life, don't you think?
Sure. So we're talking classic mind wipe, or are we talking just full mind domination?
I think it's more like a domination, like a second mind in their mind.
Do you know detect thoughts yet, sweetie?
No.
Okay, give me a second. And she gets up and she goes to her room. And like, you've never seen inside of her room. She's always so fast to open and close the door behind her, so you don't even see like anything inside the room. And after another moment, she comes out with a spell scroll. And she goes, "Here you go, detect thoughts."
Oh, thank you. This will be very helpful.
So keep in mind, you know, with detect thoughts, you know, you get surface level thoughts pretty good, but if you like delve deeper, they know you're there. Also, it's kind of a consent thing that you might want to be worried about, especially if it's coming close to a friend. But if someone else is trying to control their thoughts, it'd be easy to detect the surface thoughts as not being a thing. Or, maybe just those same thoughts don't match up, you know? If you were to read my brain, you know, right now I'm thinking about cookies and, you know, what to make for lunch for all you kids. And, you know, if we don't do that, you know, what are we going to do from there? So if you were to read my thoughts and those weren't going to be the top thoughts, and you were to be reading, I don't know, the ninth circle of hell transmutation circle that would get you there and how much silver you would need for the inlay to get it, that might be a problem. Although I guess I do know that off the top of my head, so...
But
Oh. Wow. Well, this will be very, very helpful. Thank you, Grandma Maggie. How about that cookie recipe too?
Oh, of course, yes. And so she starts going into the recipe, and at this point,
cute.
everybody else comes home, and she's like already like pulling out ingredients, and she's like, okay, so then you need, and here's the secret. It's cardamom. Cardamom is the secret. Fun fact: naturally an antidepressant, so it makes everyone feel a little bit better when they have a cookie.
See, I was gonna say, I always wanted to know, like, what's the biggest difference between cardamom and cinnamon?
Cardamom is digestible. You could. No one does the spoon.
The cardamom challenge.
Yeah. Hi, kids. Welcome back. I was just making some cookies. Would you like some?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love your cookies, Grandma. Thank you. They always make me feel better. It's weird.
Strange how that always happens. Interesting. So I'll be on my way. You know, you kids have fun. I'll get out of your head. And she scurries off to go do something else.
How'd it go, guys?
Chokes on his cookie.
They're getting married.
Chokes even more on his cookie. Because he didn't think Draxel would fall for the thing.
She just starts like handing over the fabric and stuff. Be like, yep.
Just see like Rain working on his paper mache and like crunching it too hard and accidentally popping the balloon, and it just kind of like what?
I mean, I was so surprised. Like, Tolan proposed to her right in the middle of the store.
It's true.
I'm so happy for you guys, though. So happy.
Faya, can you explain?
Tolan's looking for water.
I'm happy for you if that's the case, but also
Jessie looks like she's in tears.
Was this part of the plan? Did I just not notice there were sparks between you two?
No.
Happened, and it's beautiful.
Okay. So, here's what happened. You know when you can't tell if someone's gonna be weird that you're buying materials for a costume, so you're kind of vague about what you're making? Okay, so it started like that. I told her I was making a wedding dress. And I said it needed to be, really, really perfect. And then I was trying to do that like haggling thing. And so I acted, a little more indifferent to this fabric, but like would have worked. And I don't know. I said to her that I was so scared of having regrets on my big day about not having perfect fabric. And it just upset something in her. And then she went and she got the fabric, and she came back, and it was perfect. And then she asked for an invitation to the wedding. And
it's still funny.
So I had to act like a crazy person. And I told her that, well, hopefully if I do this dress well, they'll actually propose. And it made her super uncomfortable, which, it would make everyone uncomfortable.
So Tolan tried to fix it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
One knee and proposed.
Anyways, we got a discount.
Wow. That's
Okay,
great.
so we go.
When's the happy day?
All of it was worth it. The 25% off coupon she gave us to leave.
Okay, let's see this fabric that was worth this much trouble. I mean, okay, yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, I can. I can see destroying yourselves in public for this.
And
Hey.
okay, so she kind of like darts her eyes to Drexel and to Tolan, and kind of like, and then back to Range, like, okay, but I'm trying to process how I went from admitting a really, really deep, dark fear about that dumb crystal area to you, and then the next day lying about my love life. I don't know how it happened, but it did.
You know, people will say a lot of weird things when they're under pressure. It's all right. Ask me sometime how I learned knitting.
She's just like frustrated and trying to process, and she dead eyes you. How did you learn knitting?
You hear from the other room, speak of deflection.
Well, I was building a trident for another character, and I thought knitting needles would be really good for the spiky bits. The really fat ones. And then they asked what I was making, and I said I was trying to learn how to knit. And I just kept saying yes to the classes and the yarn, and now I can knit you a sweater if you'd like.
That sounds amazing. And I have to say something out of character that is relevant, and Dustin is shaking his head.
Oh,
So, when the very first time we went to Anime Oasis, and Dustin was Jin, we didn't know how to make horns or anything. So we got a knitting needle. We cut the tip off of it. And we spirit gummed it to his little hair.
Oh,
I remembered the story!
And a freaking knitting needle tip in his hair.
And my crying glitter.
I think you had this as a horror story on the podcast. That's fantastic.
Amazing.
Sadie and I agree that Panon's story sounds a little too realistic. So
Yes.
okay. So you guys have like a kind of a chill down. Grandma comes out with some soup and cookies for dessert afterwards. Vea, go ahead, and now that you've got the perfect material, we'll say that you now have a little bit of practice. You're kind of knowing what you're going to be doing. Go ahead and roll me 3 craft checks.
Okay. Which dice are not going to betray me?
Good question.
Okay. All of these dice were gifts, and so I'm going to blame everyone who gifted them to me if they're bad.
Okay.
Oh no, they're bad. I'm gonna re-roll one
Do
of
you
them.
have to say who they're from before you roll so we know who to yell?
Okay, well, the best one is an 18.
Okay.
That one came from Renna.
Hey.
The next best one is a 16. This one came from Dustin. And this one I'm gonna re-roll is also from Renna.
So she has done you well and also wronged you terribly.
You said that was a
Yes.
5?
So a re-roll on that is, I can math, a 23.
23. Okay.
Nice.
So
My inspiration is gone.
So with a 57, you kind of sit there and you get the pattern laid out pretty easily. You are able to cut it, and at first you're a little hesitant. So you're like cutting like right on the seam line, and then your hand gets a little shaky, and so you kind of like cut a little bit of a wave around it. You get to the sewing machine, and the sewing machine feels little like just angry today. There's something about the sewing machine that as you're starting your first few seams together, it just wants to fight you. And you have this moment of just like, take a deep breath. You like reset everything, and it just starts to glide. It just sings the entire way.
Wait,
Go ahead.
It's okay that I started off bad because I have a golden seam reverse.
Good.
Kaylin says Crying Glitter is the best band name.
No, not wrong.
Howlcause says, or cosplay group name.
Hey.
I love it.
Crying glitter.
So you, after a little bit, it gives you a little bit of guff, but you stop and refocus, and before you know it, you have more or less the dress all put together, all made, and it doesn't even need to be taken in. You're really pleased with it. Like, there's areas that you could do better, right? But for where you're at right now, you feel really, really happy about this.
And she's just like basically like, it turned out really good. I didn't think it would turn out that good. And she's like just surprised that all of that happened. Which is a feeling I feel deep in my soul.
Jaguar Quinn says, that's what I call a cross stitch.
Hey. Womp womp.
All right. So now that you've got the dress made, Draxel, I imagine that you're probably going to go hunting for the feathers to bleach them and everything along those lines. So you head out, and like while Vea is sewing, you head out and you start to go to the edge of the woods. What are you looking for? What's the plan here?
Well, if I can find because they're a bit big, so if I can find a larger creature with like long feathers, to see what I can harvest. Just kind of looking. I don't know. Do I know what's in the area really? What kind of wildlife is here?
Yeah, so we've got kind of a standard forest, so you'll be able to find pheasants, eagles, robins for sure, magpies.
Definitely the larger creatures.
The larger creatures. So we're looking more eagle.
Eagle.
You know that like a cockatrice has been seen around the area, but that might be a little outside of your range, like right now. But like you could try and find if it molted in any one area. But yeah, trying to think of other like, hippogriffs fly over. Like you remember flying across Karish Kagal.
So if I would want to see if I can track any of these creatures, find where they might be nesting, either up in the trees or whatnot, try and look, or if I can actually score one of them.
Okay. So go ahead, roll me a survival check.
Which is 11.
11. Okay. You don't find anything right off the bat. Like, you walk around for a while, and you're finding, like, robin feathers, a few seagull feathers, like, it's more tufts of anything. Weirdly enough, you find a few parrot feathers. Go ahead and roll me 2 more.
Much better. What's my plus? Is a 17 and a 13.
17 and a 13.
One
Okay.
fair.
As you are walking around the woods, you come to kind of the signs of this big, giant, like, animal brawl of some sort. Like, there's large claw marks in trees, like, as big as your hand. You're finding that there is clearly a little bit of animal blood from something being hunted. It probably something a little bit larger, maybe a wolf was the prey in this situation. But yeah, you're pretty confident that whatever bird this was, because it has signs of bird, was the victor in this fight.
Oh.
What? Do you want to follow the trail on this one? Like, you can notice that there is a bit of a trail where the body was dragged off a little bit.
I do. First,
Okay.
I'm going to just like carve into like the side of a tree. Remember me for when they find my corpse. I'm going to pass without a trace on myself.
Oh, no.
Oh, very, very smart. Okay, so as you cast Pass Without a Trace, go ahead and roll me a stealth. We'll maintain that second roll for your survival check.
24.
24. Beautiful. Let me see if... So you just like lean into the shadows, and you're going from tree to tree. I'm picturing like this very quiet scene from Emperor's New Groove as Krunk is like, but probably without the singing. And as you are traveling around, you are kind of like continuing to follow the trail of blood and the drag marks across the ground, and you find a giant vulture, and like giant size vulture. And we're talking 30-foot wingspan, and it's just ripping apart its lunch. But it does not notice you at all. You are shadow incarnate. You feel the spirit of the hunt is with you. The trickster god in your brain tells you like, this would be a great opportunity to kind of mess with it. But the hunter spirit inside of you also tells you, like, you have the advantage, and you're 100% certain, because it's just having a time eating lunch.
Okay, looking around, can I see any any off feathers?
Roll me a quick perception check.
Better. 18.
18. You do see quite a few, and they vary in size. You see a couple that, at the shortest, are probably about half a foot.
Okay.
And then at the longest, and they get really close to this bird, the long ones that are probably varying from a foot to 3 feet long.
Okay. Gotta make this work. I'm gonna start going for this.
Okay. Are you going
for I'm getting closer.
How are you going to go for like the really big ones, or are you going to go like try and see if you can find something a little bit shorter? What are you thinking?
Aiming towards the big ones, I would like to kind of, if I can follow stealthily, like stealth being my primary goal towards the large ones, but if I can start to pick up some slightly smaller ones as I go.
Okay. Roll me another stealth check.
12.
12. Well, Panon, I may never use these dice that you got me ever again. That's 2 1s in a row.
Oh my god!
So, not to get too visceral, but this bird like takes a big bite and gets a little bit in its eye, so like, and you kind of freeze for a moment, and it just is distracted, and then like tries to wipe at it, but only makes it a little bit worse, and just kind of gives up. And you, like as it wipes at it, these giant wings almost just push you with the air as it's moving around, and then it brings it back down and then continues to eat at this wolf.
Okay. Just continue creeping in Panther style.
Dun, dun.
Another stealth check, or?
One more stealth check.
Okay. Yes. Who hasn't failed me today? Oh. 30.
Was that a net?
Jeez.
What?
Dang.
I have got a +5 to my stealth. I rolled a 15, and Pass Without a Trace is up.
Do you want to pull one right off of its body? Like a fresh...
I mean, how many are there on the ground?
So I'll say that like you get probably like 4. Two short ones, 2 longer ones for sure.
Okay.
Do you think that's enough? Do you want more? Do you want to tempt fate?
I want to tempt fate. I like fate. Oh.
Okay. Because of the fact that you are just... You're not even shadow anymore. Like, it's just like this perfect mirage of a camouflage on you. Roll me
Imagine
a sleight of
covering
hand
dirt.
with advantage.
Oh, and Chatsy's messaging me, how did I get a 12? I forgot to add my bonus. That should have been a 17.
Oh, okay. All right.
I rolled a 2 plus 10 and forgot to add my plus 5.
Thank you.
All right. I'm nervous. Sleight of hand. Bank advantage. 20. Non-natural.
Non-natural 20. Okay. So it just continues to eat, and like you like nuzzle up into its wing, right? And you reach up and you find like the perfect feather, exactly for what you're looking for. And then you get a little bit greedy and find the second perfect feather, and you're able to grab them like with one hand, and you just blink, and it even has that cartoony like blink noise, and you notice that it just goes
Goodness.
I'm going to need you to roll me a stealth check if you want to get out of there now.
The moment I do have a plan for the moment it notices, or the moment I make a noise.
Okay.
Something. Oh! That is my first natural 20, so that's a 35.
Holy crap!
Bravo.
He's just like the mist in and out.
Yeah.
Not perceived.
Even with my really decent roll now, it just it can't notice you. There is no possible way, because now you have a perfect track that you have made on the way in. So all of the debris and forest detritus that is on the ground, you have perfectly moved aside, and you just glide out. It does not notice you at all. I'm sorry that you had a plan for when it does notice you, but you're able to leave its eyeline and earshot without making a noise. Like, even the forest forgets that you're there.
Dang.
Okay. I start leaving. As soon as I feel that I'm just away from it, past the spot where it tore up the creature, away from it, just into a run. Maybe throw up a little.
Elegant.
All right, so fast forward a little bit. So you were going to bleach them? Is that right?
Yeah, so if they weren't properly correct, I was going to bleach them out, and because they were like white and blue and white and so, get the perfect colors.
Okay, so go ahead and roll me 3 craft checks as well.
2 15s and a 13, so that is 20, 20, and 18.
So 20, 20, and 18. Okay. So you're pretty confident that like what to do in this point. You have like a go-to bucket to set aside for the bleaching. You've got are you doing like a hand painting, an airbrushing?
Definitely by hand.
Definitely by hand. Okay. So you bleach these, and you have like this recipe down. Not only the recipe, but also the timing of it all. Like how long before it becomes too brittle versus how long before it starts to waver. And then you let it air dry afterwards. And this is not even just a science. This is muscle memory to you at this point. And once you get it out, you find the perfect shade of blue, but you also find your whites to mix and give you kind of that nice gradient into the blue. Sorry, I heard something move. It probably was a cat outside. Yeah, you make the perfect decoration of the kind of like spectral blue on these feathers. Anything else?
So yeah, he's just working on trinkets after that.
Okay, perfect. Well, with the 88 total that you carried over, your trinkets come out really just beautiful, like really, really nice. And we will jump over to Tolan. So, you are working on the armory bits.
Yes.
Tell me, how are you going to be accomplishing that?
Alright, hang on, I'm pulling up the picture really quick. Let's see the picture. Oh boy, that's intricate.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, Tolan, who thinks he's being sneaky, is gonna go to the neighbor.
Okay. Do you, like, hop the fence? Do you pull a Wilson from Home Improvement? What are you doing?
He,
Uh-huh.
yeah, he's gonna go hop the fence.
Okay. So, you just hop the fence, and there's this, not even a well-put-together little shack. It's like a 3-walled shack kind of thing. Very, very open space, and you can see that there's the anvil. It is nice and clean. There are embers, and you can see your Goliath neighbor resting with a hammer that's bigger than your, torso. And he, little Tolan, welcome. How are you? And he's like just drinking and kind of like wiping off some sweat. How are you, my boy?
Doing good. I have a question for you. I know Grandma doesn't want me doing blacksmithy stuff, but I'm here.
Yeah, she
and we're
totally
gonna
doesn't
do
want you doing that.
We're doing this. Yes. So, I've got a request. I've done, like, some stuff in the backyard, but, like, and he, like, shows the picture. He's like, this is really intricate, and I want to do it right.
And he pulls out these tiny, tiny little bifocals, like way too small for his face. And he like,
Love this guy.
Well, that is really small. Okay. Are you making it to that size, or are you actually making it to a person?
To a person.
Person! Wonderful.
Yes,
okay,
person
I was a little
size.
concerned. Like,
The person size, and he, like, looks over the fence, and if Veya's outside, he points at her.
and, like, he like, doesn't even, like, he just stands up and, like, he peers over the fence kind of situation, and he goes, hey, Druid! How tall is you?
No. And she like stares at the dress for a second. I'm like 5'5", maybe.
5'5". Cool. I'm working with your friend. We're working on stuff. Sorry.
So, like, hand is over the fence waving.
Do you want me to come over?
No. I got it. I just needed to know how. Yeah, we're good. We're good. And he like sits back down and all right, Tolan. So
and she's just like muttering, like, you don't need my other measurements?
I'm gonna roll. No, I'm good. Old hat.
Okay.
We're good. Thanks though. So Tolan, what do you need my help with? You've got access to the forge. You need probably about 8-inch across piece for this, and then you need probably are you doing like bucklers or anything, or are we just doing the armor pieces?
Do some bucklers. Does she have what is on her waist?
I think it's just kind of like it's almost a silhouetted bustier that is kind of like in the style of more a wrought iron type. Like that's the only architecture I can think of to compare it to. But it kind of just like it hugs her body as it goes down.
He's gonna try and make whatever that is.
Yeah, I don't know what to call it. I don't think it's actually like a realistic piece to compare.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's just gonna try and make some intricate pieces, and then we'll figure out how to attach them later, as long as he makes them light.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
so
he's gonna display that
more
wants them
aluminum.
light. Yeah, aluminum's probably a good idea. Like really light, so it's not like gonna. I mean, there's a lot of skin on this, so we don't want anything being torn off on accident. That'd be terrible.
Yeah. And you got some decorative pieces here. I'm not much of a jeweler, but we could try the necklace if that's what you wanted to go for. But
I think Draxel's making the necklace.
Gotcha. Okay, who's Draxel?
The lizard guy. I think
Oh,
you vanished
yeah.
earlier,
Yeah, I had to take my chickens in because of him.
Sorry, that was funny. Okay. Yeah, so I'm ready to get started. He starts, like, picking up the pieces that, like, he was talking about, and he's just like, okay, I think I'm ready.
So he picks up his giant hammer, and he hands it, like, he just offers it over to you. Again, it's as big as your torso.
He's like, I got this one. It's a fancy one. And he holds up the gold one.
Mm-hmm. Ah. What does that do?
It's from the special tools place.
Special tools place. All right. Well, if you don't, and he puts it down on the ground, and like the earth shakes a little bit underneath your feet as he drops it. He goes, "Fine by me. You gotta have your own tools. I'm proud of you, my boy. You've got getting your own tool set. Eventually, you'll buy me out of my own shack.
I like your shack.
I made it myself. I like it too. So thank you. That's a nice compliment. All right." So he starts getting you some of the materials. He starts kind of like drawing out the planning of all of the intricate kind of pins and where to drift holes through it, so that way you can bind it together more appropriately. And he starts working the heat on the fire. Go ahead and roll me 3 crafty checks.
Do I add anything to those? I can't remember.
Yes, it's going to be whatever your main stat is. So for Paladin, I believe it's Wisdom?
Wisdom or Charisma?
Charisma.
Be charisma for Paladin.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. 3 of them?
Yes.
Oh, crap. That's too many. Okay, hang on. Just get 2, 3. Roll. Oh boy, that. Do you want each of them or all of it together?
All of them together would be great.
Okay. 24 plus 5, 29.
That's what you got with 3.
Yeah, I got 2 really low rolls.
And you are adding your charisma mod to all of those individually.
To all
right?
of those? Oh, okay, so then 39.
39. Okay. You're feeling pretty confident about these. Like you're pretty pleased with this. And he's helping
pretty things.
He's helping, like, pointing out, like, all right, hammer here. Make sure you use the heel of the hammer, not the whole flat of the hammer. He's guiding you, and as you bring up the few pieces of armor that you need, he kind of looks at it and goes, "Well, I think you're doing pretty good. Remind me, can you, for me and an audience refresher, remind me what about this hammer makes it special?"
I don't think you gave me a thing on it. It was one of the gold hammers.
It always hits where you intend to hit.
Okay.
That's right. Thank you.
Yes. So with that, he kind of goes, "All right, well, you've gotten a lot better at your aim. I remember not too long ago, it's gonna, you aim for the heel, and then all of a sudden you're at the top of the piece. So you're doing real good. Like, you're getting there, buddy."
Yeah, my thumbs thank me too.
My thumbs thank me. And he looks around and he goes, "I think definitely gonna need a little bit more work, but it's got the right form. You've got a great form to it. A little bit not so great on the function, but you've got a lot of good form. Eventually, you're gonna make one hells of a blacksmith."
Cullen's like super happy and just grinning. Like,
Wonderful.
This is good. Because they need to look pretty. Function's not a thing for this, but we'll work on function. Yeah.
Then I think you achieved your goal. Is there anything else, do you want to try your hand at, a breastplate or something?
Yes.
All right.
Could we make a breastplate that's, like, can be hidden underneath, like, clothing? Tolan wants hidden armor for his security guard idea.
I don't know if you're ready for that, but...
Oh, okay.
Let me get back to you, and we can work on that in a little bit, all right?
Sounds good.
I gotta talk to my manager. Yeah.
You have a manager?
Yeah, just blacksmith stuff. You'll figure it out eventually. Don't worry about it.
I just got it.
Did Mercedes get it or did Tolan get it?
I got it. Tolan does not get it, no.
All right, cool. Okay. So, all right. So, Vea, Draxel, Tolan, you have all added to the stress. Rain,
Yes.
you are going to be adding like some of the finer details along the dress and whatnot. So, tell me what does this look like for you?
So on this dress, it's got like this scallopy hem with a bunch of embroidery. Like all the bits along the bottom have gold and just lots of accenty pieces. I imagine, since Rain has like the needle and he's kind of a hand sewer type, he would probably, I don't know that he'd have time to hand embroider the whole thing and if he'd feel confident enough to do that, but I can see him doing like a combination of gold paint and then raised areas with gold needlework.
Okay.
So kind of like a combination. So the bigger areas are probably filled with paint, but have like little stitches around them and accents.
Okay. So, like, the way that you are working, like, as Vea is, like, moving one piece off of the sewing machine, you immediately take it into your hands and you start working on the accent work. Time is getting a little bit short. Everyone's kind of rushing, but also still making sure that they take care of themselves. They want to make sure that, if anything, Grandma Tolan is going to sit there and remind everyone, like, all right, 10 o'clock, everybody goes to bed. Like, that's the rule.
She's making sure we get our sleeps.
Yeah. So as she's handing off different pieces and you start working on it, go ahead and roll me your 3 craft checks.
Oh boy. Okay. Oh, that's not great. 7. And that's with the bonus.
That's with the bonus, okay.
23. 10.
Okay. So it's not your best work right off the bat. You recognize that, like, what this could mean, how this could make or break everything, and it's just so pretty. Like, Vea did such a good job putting this together. The 2 different pieces, it just flows really pretty. That slight train feels a little bit intimidating to start work on, but you continue through, and you as you get a little bit longer into the process, you're getting a lot more confident. And by the end of it, you have what you feel is probably you're able to get about 85% of all of the decoration that's on this dress. You're feeling really confident. It's a little slapdash in places, especially like after you would rest, like you would sit down and like it would start getting really good. And then middle of the day, it would probably start to wane. And then at the end of the day, it's like, oh man, I totally did that wrong.
Need to stop.
Yeah, stop, take a break, walk away, work on something else for a little while. And then when you could get back to it again, it would be really, really great. So it's probably not masterclass. You're aware of that, but you're still really proud of the work that you were able to put into this. Do you want to say or do anything in that time?
No, I think I'm okay. I got my aside with Grandmama, so.
Okay. So I need everybody to roll me one more crafting check, individually, just one each.
Oh boy. 18.
19.
18.
And 18. All right, so with a
23 on mine.
Of 78 out of the 4 of you, you start putting the final pieces together. Draxel, you bring in the choker necklace, the fantastic, I want to call them almost tchotchkes of like the little tassels and whatnot. Tolan, you bring in the armor and it sits perfectly. The metal pieces almost drape in the same way thanks to the fantastic gold tier market hammer. Vea, you are definitely more of the kind of like more pleased about all of the work together, because this dress was perfect. It was exactly as you wanted. Areas for improvement, as always. A few loose strings here and there. Your back stitching probably needs a little bit of work, but overall, it fits like a glove. It gives you room to move. You're ready to do your quick change when necessary. And Rain, you look at it and go, I could do better, but you're still really pleased. Like, the teamwork effort is new to you, but you're really pleased. And overall, it's gonna do well. Like, you know that this isn't going to be beginner class. This is going to be mid-tier cosplay. This probably is going to win, as all of you are looking at it on Vea. What do you guys want to do from here? As Vea is now completely dressed in the cosplay, and you guys have tested form and function, it's doing great.
I think we all just want a nap.
It looks amazing!
And I say this as a person upset. We never covered a wig.
Crap.
What?
Gasp.
We realize this, and now what?
Hey, what color's your hair? What color's Vea's hair again?
It's brown, but you go ahead.
How long is it?
It's like middle of her back at the longest.
We're gonna need this dagger.
Okay.
We're gonna cut her hair?
Go ahead and... What do you want to roll for this one? What do you think would be the appropriate thing to roll here?
Start going. Look into the other two. I don't know what I'm doing here.
She's gonna put a hand on Drexel's arm, like,
She like hears us with her passive and is just like, okay, maybe not.
I mean, I think we can do it. I just might need help.
Grandma, do you know how to cut hair?
Well, of course I know how to cut hair. You know, you gotta, if you're gonna disguise and infiltrate the Empire, you gotta make sure, yeah, of course.
Can you help us with this hairstyle?
Of course.
Can I help you with the hairstyle? And let you roll?
That doesn't feel fair. It feels like I would be taking a lot of the fun out of this. So, let me get my shears. And she again goes into her room and she hands you like these scissors that like sing as she puts them in your hand, Draxel. All right, I'll help. You know, you go ahead. I'm gonna guide you. Gather your bunch here. It's off after that Ash character, right? The one that you've been talking about.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. So she starts like taking a look and like kind of teasing the hair a little bit. I'm so sorry that I'm in your space, Vea. I'm just trying to help, so I apologize.
No, I appreciate the help.
Okay. All right. So go ahead, take a hand, and do get a slight fringe here. So go ahead and roll me.
And before he actually cuts, I'm going to put my hand on his hand, look him dead in the eye, and say, "Don't mess up," while I'm casting guidance on him.
Oh, I was gonna be like, bless me, guidance.
And you have advantage thanks to Grandmama. So, with bless, guidance, and advantage, go ahead and roll for a haircut. We'll say sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. Okay. Proficient with that. Thank the advantage. That is a 14 plus a 2 plus sleight of hand, which is 5. 21.
21. So Grandmama's going a little fast for you, right? But she's still like making sure that you understand what you're doing, and she starts giving you more of the language of like, okay, so you want an undercut here, and what that is when you bring your scissors and you like, yep, just like that. Oh my gosh, you're doing great, Draxel. Like, you could have told me you were a hairdresser in a past life, and I would have believed you. Just like giving you all of the like support and praise. Okay, all right, and then and with the 21, it's not an exact replica. You've got the slight kind of side part going on pretty well. Again, your hair's still brown, but you're not you're not going to be confused for another character kind of haircut, if that makes sense.
I have a question.
Okay.
I'm currently doing research on how leather dye might go into hair.
Okay.
Because I have the magically changing leather dye.
Yes.
The perfect color.
Uh-huh.
Would we be able to dye, would Vea be willing to let her hair be dyed?
Mm-hmm.
Big Vea sacrifice for the team.
Yeah. Do you mention this while Maggie's around?
Yes.
Okay. She goes, that's an interesting idea. Vea, honey, didn't you make a mock-up before you made this masterpiece?
Yes.
That sounds like a good idea. Don't you think, Draxel? A mock-up or a test of some sort?
Definitely.
Rain's just gonna dive
Definitely
for the scraps and hand them to Draxel.
Oh, you can grab what the hair that has fallen, like the locks that have fallen off.
My goodness, you are a smart bunch. Yes, go ahead and let's test that out real quick. And she brings out your little dyeing kit, and she goes, "All right, cool. Go ahead and roll me just another craft check with advantage
And guidance.
and guidance."
I can do math. That is a non-natural 20.
Non-natural 20. Okay. Yeah, it works. You recognize that with the hair, it probably isn't going to last very long, so you're probably going to want to do this a few days before the judging. But it should wash out over time. Probably pretty quick. But yeah, you'll be able to get that perfect. It looks kind of like a golden straw color to me, but I might be totally wrong. This is David admitting colorblindness again.
You got it.
Okay, cool. And yeah, so you're pretty confident that the day of or the day before, you'd be able to dye it, and it would match that color pretty stinking well.
I think we're gonna, this is gonna be perfect. Vea, you're gonna rock this.
Sadie, is Vea feeling ready for her big day?
Yes, thank you for asking. That's so sweet.
All right, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit, unless anyone else wants to jump into the prep day for those of you who are employed and volunteering for the con.
Okay, there was one thing as a point of order. We didn't take the time to figure out how to do a tearaway or anything, and kind of looking at our time limit, I figured we wouldn't be able to. So during the crafting of the skirt, I want to position the zipper on the skirt in a way that I could just reach back, unzip it, and drop the skirt and wear a pair of booty shorts under it.
Okay, sounds good.
So that if I have to, for whatever reason, ditch the skirt for mobility's sake, whatever, she's just wearing tights and shorts under it.
Okay, cool. That will be good to know.
One other, this is a couple episodes ago, but on that card Rain got from Char, it was in a language he didn't know. And I was looking through my spells, and there's a comprehend languages that I think he would have at least attempted to use on it. I don't know if that's a thing we would do now, or you can pass me a note, or I don't know.
I'm okay. I feel like our table doesn't do a lot of metagaming, so I'm more than happy to give that with you.
Okay.
Remind me what languages you do speak?
Reminding myself what languages I do speak. Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, and Infernal.
Okay. Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, Infernal. Okay. So you take a moment and you cast the spell over the card, and there's this flood of magic, and you can feel it in the back of your eyes. And you're seeing a few draconic, family books because you're still in Tolan's house, so there's a few like scrapbooks and whatnot that Grandmama has set apart, and you can like start reading the text on the spines, and they're nothing special, just like family trip vacation here, or slaying of the God King there, and very very common scrapbook titles, you know, and.
Not fantasy books.
Scrapbooks, you know.
I love Grandma.
And she's like even like putting some of the books away at this point. And you look down. Does it tell you that you have a comprehension of what the language is?
You understand the literal meaning of any spoken language you hear or understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written.
Okay. All right. I'm still okay with like the fact that like you see the books and you can read them.
Okay.
So because of the fact that you still don't know what the language is, but you have like almost this holiness about it as you see the script change and form into more of a common understanding for you. And the literal meaning is ascend from on high, destroyers of evil, summon those forgotten.
That's pretty baller.
And that's the literal translation that you would get. But it feels pretty holy. Pretty holy.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
I did want to make a note because Rain was not going to be using his name when he signs up for this con.
That's right.
He'll have a pseudonym, and I went with Amaro because it's actually a protag from the Gundam that Char is in.
Ah.
So it's kind of like if he might recognize it, he might not even see the list of staffers. So
Amaro.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not even just like that's the character in this series.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You're flagging pretty loud.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, you sign up. Everyone's able to get their preferred role. Draxel more or less security, or no, excuse me, Talon was security. Draxel was.
I'm just handler.
Handler.
Yep. Hanging out with you.
And then Rain Griever.
Yeah, he also would have told the group though that that's the pseudonym he's using, so
Okay.
they don't, Rain.
Rain! Hey, it's Rain, everybody!
Does Grandmama have a copy of Tusklo that I can
Of course. She actually has an original first printing signed. Clearly.
Wow. Wow.
She also has the Adventurer's Cookbook
Mm-hmm.
in 3 different languages. Elvish, Common, and Dwarvish. So, don't try and stand up, Grandmama. Like, come on. And so, yeah, we'll fast forward to the day of the prep of the con. And you guys are able to get an Airbnb. You guys are able to get everything checked in and ready to go. So with Rain and Tolan, since you're both working there, you have to show up a day before the con actually starts to get your assignments, to kind of understand the layout of everything. And all of the instructions say is to head to the cemetery just outside of town, in the city of Sithril.
Oh, that's suspicious.
I mean, it's the Necronomicon, so
I guess so.
It would be for any other con.
Okay.
Which Rain would assure him.
And like the signs are very like easy to point out. Like there's just like, all right, staff and volunteers this direction, and
do you want
lead
to
you.
arrive separately since I'm not using a pseudonym? Because I wasn't smart enough to think of that.
Yes, probably.
Okay.
So, Rain, we'll say that you get there first. And I imagine still hooded.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, absolutely.
you make it to this small mausoleum. Like it's like a 1 square by 1 square, so it's like 5 feet across. And you see a single elderly woman, kind of like gnarled fingers, like really bony, and she has like her shoulder up high, and she goes, "Oh, hello, darling, welcome. Are you part of the staff?"
Yeah, I'm helping out with the cosplay contest. I'll be in the green room, is what they told me.
Wonderful. And your name?
Amaro?
Amaro.
Mm.
And she
she's
starts,
Skeksis.
she starts going through a few things. She goes, yes. All right. So, here you are. Here's your packet, and it's got your lanyard, your name, your little wrist bracelet thing to signify that you are a volunteer for the green room. She goes, so you will want to light the pale candle. It's well marked, you know, it has the plate pale candle. It's got written in several different languages, so you're all set. Just light the pale candle. There's matches inside, and that will take you directly to where you need to go.
Okay. Out of character. Is this like a weird transporting magic thing? Would they know?
You could roll a Arcana check.
Okay, let me do that, please.
Yeah.
I rolled an 18, and I have a +4 Arcana, so 22.
22. Yeah, this is exactly that. These candles are arcane teleportation candles. The way that they are set up, based on your knowledge, is that you light them, and they are only designated to take you to a specific space. So it's not just like a general teleport wherever you want to go. So once you light it, it'll take you to that area, and you'll be all set, ready to go. And it doesn't scream anything evil, doesn't scream anything bad, just standard teleportation magic.
And what time did you need us to show up? Did we just go directly there?
For the green room, what you'll want to do is you want to make sure that so you have 2 days. So Fridays begin Saturday, so you'll have free reign Friday as much as you want, and from there I think you'll be asked to be here at noon, which is 2 hours before the cosplay competition.
Okay. And who will I be checking in with? Do you know? I mean, I out of character would probably know who he emailed about who's in charge of cosplay.
Let me get the name for you real quick.
Okay.
You'll be working with Zaki. Zaki is you'll make sure that just check in with him. He's the con mom for this one. I think that's what the kids say these days. So you'll just make sure you check in with him. Hard to miss. One of the only humans that actually looks alive here.
Hey.
But yeah, short hair, a little bit broader build, you know, just a guy having a good time kind of thing. He'll have the black lanyard, so you'll be able to recognize him.
Good. Okay. All right, I'll see you there. Well,
All right,
maybe
wonderful.
not you, but
Oh, you'll see me here. You have to come by me. You know, this is my crypt kind of thing. I gotta, you know, don't worry about it. Don't it's fine.
Got it.
Talon, you head into the same place, and you walk up to that same lady. We'll say that it's like a different time, so you don't even like cross paths. And oh, hello, young dragonborn, sir. What can I do?
Hello! I'm here for this check-in for security.
And your name is?
Tolan.
Tolan. You'll be doing weapons checks, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have Dramamine? Do you get seasick or motion sickness at all?
Why?
Well, because before people can enter the con, they go to this temporal space that we've created for the safety of our staff, our team, everyone in between. You'll be doing a weapons check in the temporal space.
That's really cool.
Thank you. I made it myself.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I think I'll be okay. I'll bring Dramamine just in case.
Wonderful. And he hands you the packet. It's another yellow lanyard staff with your name written on it. It's got like a hand breaking out of the ground That's kind of like the con character kind of thing of just this hand from the ground that you would see at the end of a horror movie. And do you have any questions, any comments, concerns?
Will I be doing... I believe I'm doing weapons check with the cosplay contest too, right? Making sure
Yes.
all those are good.
Yeah, temporal space
Yes.
and whatnot. You know, it's all... Honestly, it'll feel like it all happens at the exact same time because time works differently in there. So you're going to be in there for what feels like days. But honestly, it'll all happen at... Time is strange when you're in the temporal space, so you're only there for one shift, but you'll do the entire weekend at the same time.
Weird.
Yeah.
What time in this realm do I
Good
need to be
question.
here?
You'll want to be here at 6 a.m. sharp on Friday, and then once you're there, you'll be in there for the entire weekend, but you won't be in there for the entire weekend. We want to make sure that the staff have some fun too, you know.
Okay, so I'll be able to still hit up Artist Alley.
Exactly, yes.
Sweet,
Artist
sweet,
Alley
sweet,
and
sweet.
vendors and all that fun stuff.
Dude, I could do weapons check for the contest and watch the contest?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Isn't it? Isn't it cool? I did my best on this one, you know.
my goodness.
The biggest side effect is, again, you're going to get real queasy, so make sure you
I'm-
bring plenty of Dramamine.
I'm gonna insight check this person.
Okay.
Oh, that was terrible. 11.
She's really proud of this. Like, that's what you get. She's
Mhm.
really proud of her work here.
Dude, if more conventions would do that.
Yeah, just break the laws of time,
Yeah.
physics, reality. All right,
Okay.
so we
Alright.
will see you on your way. And she
Okay.
hands off the things, and just don't forget you want to light the black candle right dead center. Again,
Oh.
it's well marked black. It's draconic, common, elvish, dwarvish, whatever you need. Candles will be inside.
Okay. So I come here 6 a.m., light the black candle.
Exactly.
And then the witches return and take the souls of the children.
That was my old life, you know. I don't. I'm kidding. I would never. I only took like the.
What was your
name? My name is Patrice.
Patrice, you're awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Not
I had to-
Winifred.
I had to turn over my my
Not really.
hag life, so you know, help the kids. You know, con work. It's great. It's a lot of fun. Okay,
Cool. All right.
so how's it? Anything else that you guys want to say or do before we wrap it up, and we will start the next session on day one of the con.
I think Draxel and I would probably go pick up our badges.
Okay.
Yeah, we just start going.
Would
And dye
Rain
my
be
hair.
Would Rain be able to meet Zaki beforehand, or is it cool that they're just expecting him on the day of?
It's cool that they're expecting you on the day of.
Okay.
Just as green room kind of stuff. They're not expecting
Okay.
you to know like what the schedule is, right? Like memorized, like that's part of the handout. So you'll know,
Okay.
you'll have a map of the place. You'll have the schedule, and then like the order that they're planning on going in, but not like
Okay.
this person's gonna go first. They're like this row will go first, and then this row will go first. So that way
Okay.
they can just put people where they need to.
Got it.
So, Vea and Draxel, you'll be doing check-in
And dyeing my hair.
and
Oh,
dying.
yeah.
So you guys make it to the check-in, and it's just outside that same graveyard, and there is a skeleton sitting at a table for the different rows of check-ins and whatnot. And once you get to the check-in, it goes, "Oh, hi, how's it going?
Hi.
Hi, names?
Is this? My name's Bea. Is this where we get our badges?
Yeah, that's me. I was brought back to life. You know, volunteer. Why not? You know, it is what it is.
You should be Skelly.
That's a racist name. We have names. We had
I was
names
talking
before
about the guy from Hades.
Skelemaeus is a good friend of mine, and I will not be. I get it. You know, all of you guys who look alive, you look the same. So skeletons, of course, we're all gonna look the same. But I'll have you know, Skelemaeus and I are very different.
Oh, okay.
So
That was a random passerby.
yeah. So Vea and Draxel goes, all right, yeah, it's check-ins. So I just need your names, and yeah, we'll get you good.
All right, Draxel.
Draxel. All right, here you go. There you are. And you, Varys. Okay. Oh, you are in the cosplay section. Okay. Here's your schedule. You'll want to make sure that you Friday night is judging, and then cosplay competition actually happens the next day. So
Okay.
just a little bit of time gives the judges a little bit more space, time to deliberate. How are you on camera?
He's great.
They just do a little film of the judging so that way they can like watch back, right? Just again keep it fresh in the mind and whatnot. Sound okay?
Uh-huh.
So he hands you, you both get a green lanyard and a green bracelet to put on to signify you are guests. All right, so if you want to come back here, or there's 2 different mausoleums, you want to go on to the one on the left mausoleum, not the one on the right. There will be an open portal. The right one is for staff and volunteers. So again, left. Open portal, you'll just walk through, weapons check if you need to, and then you continue walking through. Don't hold your breath when you go through, just make sure you just keep breathing, nice and steady. If anything, I recommend for the people with lungs to just exhale on their way in. Sound good?
Yes.
Alright, wonderful. Talon, anything else? We'll do the hair dyeing at the beginning of next time.
You're going through space?
A little bit. All right.
Yeah, we good.
Okay, cool. So we will wrap it up there. It will be the morning of, and Necronomicon begins.
The
All
message,
right.
the drawings for today
Ah,
to our
that was
chat.
so much. Oh, you messaged the drawings already. Let me
Yes.
bring it up.
This was fun, guys.
You brought up 2. You made 2.
I did
They're so
2.
good. All right, give me a second here. Talk amongst yourself. That was a great game, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm glad we had like a very humorous episode after the last one was kind of serious.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Oh.
My brain just screaming like, what are you doing? I don't know, brain, I don't know.
Oh
I
no.
was like, how can we make this more awkward? Oh, this is gonna happen. Tolan will totally do this.
Tolan, you went there.
He thought he was fixing it because the lady looked sad.
Look, man, it got us a really good coupon.
Yep.
That's
what
true.
about-
25% off is pretty dope. Pretty dope.
Yeah, for your next one, that'll be really great.
That, and now she probably won't be expecting like an invitation or something.
We need to make some rings for the 2 of you
Ah!
for next time we come back in.
We need to go back and say that we're doing a couple cosplay and we're looking for fabric. Find the fabric and then start like fake quabbling. Just like
Wake up.
arguing with each other.
Oh my gosh, the drama.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then maybe she'll give us a coupon to leave again.
Oh my gosh. You're the worst. You're the worst.
Man,
All
we
right.
could build,
No,
like, a
are
whole
you
soap opera
colorblind?
out
We
of
need
this.
lilac. This is lavender.
Oh man, I hate it. I hate it so much. All right, so for those of you in chat, I'll just be flipping back and forth between these 2. Fantastic drawing of the proposal of Vea. That poor gnome.
No, I need to see it.
It is in the group chat.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Sadie says,
Just
I'm
love it.
dying to know Grandma Mima's level and class. Bold of you to assume it's just 1.
Oh.
Wow.
And
That-
then,
Wow.
Great times. Good job asking questions about Maggie's past, more or less. Draxel is going to be the cosplay manager, says Sadie. That was really good. I'm really excited about next game. I've got some really great things planned for Necronomicon.
Oh boy.
Um,
Sweet.
I cannot wait. Is there any thoughts, any expectations for next time? I'd love to
I
hear.
don't know. I want like a tank top of Necronomicon.
Right?
It would be a lot like SplatterCon! Exclamation point!
Right? Yeah. Maybe I
Exclamation
can
point.
get one of those by next episode.
Get like a
Dude.
vinyl cutter kind of thing.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm excited to see this, like, extra dimension thing and how that's gonna work. I'm excited.
I'm worried, of port key shenanigans going on.
Yeah, no, that wasn't the plan.
No!
I'm just making some quick notes.
Yeah, that was really fun.
That was fantastic. All right, I will let you guys back to your days. I will make sure that everybody is all good. Thanks so much for sitting at the table, everybody. Remember to follow all of the amazing people. Follow Pannon at Pannon, Jazzy at Crimson Nova, Dustin at Sky Steel, Vfire at Vfire Cosplay, and you can follow me at The Crest Sphinx. Also, thanks for just being awesome. Thanks for being awesome Patreons, and for those of you who are listening this in later, thanks for being so cool. We are going to end it here, and remember, I hope that all of your dice rolls are at least interesting. Bye, everybody!